Three young lads, with nothing but their wits and a thirst for something more, set off on a daring adventure in a land ruled by the powerful. They are flawed souls who take what they can from those above them, leaving chaos in their wake. They are the Sons of Plunder.
Sons of Plunder, pushed to tears, full of thunder, hearts on fire, wild and free, in the waves of mystery. With the crew, old and daring, saxophones echo through the night, starry skies, secret sharing underneath the pale moonlight. We're sailing on the Sons of Plunder, pushed to tears, full of thunder, hearts on fire, wild and free, in the waves of mystery.
Courtly love, the concept often portrayed in the modern zeitgeist as unattainable love, where knights would adore noble ladies from afar without the expectation of physical intimacy, emphasizing loyalty and devotion, conducted within a framework of social rituals that upheld the values of chivalry, such as honor and respect for the beloved.
You're here an awfully lot for someone
So, rather dashing.
I was going to say so young. What's a boy with a fresh face like yours need to be drowning himself for? Been in here this time of day every day for the past, what's it been now? A week at least.
Well, maybe I have a stressful job.
Stressful? Can't be too bad if you can afford what you be buying in here. You tapped out some of my father's own personal reserve, stuff he's had since I was a babe.
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry. Say, are you doing anything after work tonight?
Well, me and a gentle friend are going down by the strait to look at stars.
Oh. Well, hope you two don't catch colds out in this weather tonight. One last drink, promise. Would you mind making me a man-eater? And without that little fruit the other waitress puts in it. Please.
Where did you learn of that mix? I don't think anyone's ever asked for that around here.
Well, they used to get this horse milk, and then ferment it to mix into whatever we had back on the line. It was my unit's tradition to mix it for everyone who died after a conflict. The more of us who were killed, the stronger it was.
So you're saying that you're a soldier, a warrior.
I'm no soldier. Maybe a warrior. Spent a year on the front lines as a merc. I don't know if what all that went on out there made me a warrior. What's the interest here anyways?
What's it matter? Warriors and soldiers marching out to face an opposing force of men to make war. To come out of it stronger than you once were. There's something honorable about the sound of it, romantic even.
Don't know if you ever been in a session of war making, but it doesn't seem very honorable, or romantic when in it.
Well, maybe tell me a little about what you went through. My father is a soldier, fighting in the war. He's told me stories, but they're always so grandiose. You seem sad when talking about it.
It's not that. Not exactly. Ever had a bad day? Imagine if you can't stop thinking of that bad, awful, horrible day. You could be having a great day, yet still memories of that bad day just start flooding your thoughts against your will, at any time without warning.
And maybe I misjudged you a smidge. Tell you what, tomorrow night, wait for me outside just before we close here and we can take a stroll and you tell me more about your part in the war.
Hey, wait a tootin' minute. She just said yes to what might be an attempt to court her. Tristan feels fluttering in his belly, like carrion birds circling his insides.
Of course. But you know, I may be a little late with my responsibilities as town treasurer. I have a few meetings that day that might run a little long.
Big important boy you are then. Okay then, with some luck maybe you won't keep me outside waiting alone for too long.
With some luck perhaps I won't.
Altar boy. No woman likes a man too eager to make them their everything. There may be plenty of fish, but to catch one you still have to practice patience, skill, and prove your strength.
I'll get that drink then. But don't overdo it, boy. Stuff is bad for your health.
Wait, what's your name?
Viola Pen.
The only thing I enjoy more than seeing you come my way is the view of you walking away. Tristan's thoughts, not mine. Damn boy, calm down. He spends his night watching the candle in his temporary room within the estate burn slowly. He tires to think of just Myla, her smile, her laugh, her eyes, how her hips sway. Well, close enough to being pure of mind, I suppose. Intrusive thoughts are quick to invade. How he stood fear-struck before the road lady. How he fought so hard against that cultist knight in the rain and mud. How the gargantuan man laughed as he butchered the most skilled in his mercenary troop and swatted him to the side like he were just a fly. Warren, an excellent fencer, still overpowered by the cultist knight with a series of off-balancing blows before having his skull embedded with a mace. Edric, strong and quick. Now that the fight was 1-on-1, rather 3-1-1, Tristan laid idle after taking a concussive strike to the chest, and Warren was on his back with head turned towards Tristan, with his eyes wide open and dead, mace still lodged in place. He was a true warrior, that Edric. He traded blows with that creature, that Knight of the Cursed. Back and forth they went like something out of fable. It ended like a grim tale intended to warn the young. Heroes die. The cultist knight caught his sword arm and then beat his face in with a series of bludgeoning strikes from his mailed fist. Each blow more bloody than the last. But like that horrid evening, this night comes to an end. His eyes close to the flickering of a bright and powerful flame burning around a candle wick fueled by wax. His eyes open to evidence of a flame smothered by the very wax that not long ago encouraged it to burn bright. He dresses himself in fancy robes befitting of a treasure, and onto the town hall he walks. Town hall he enters with a pile of parchment awaiting him. A line of requests besiege him.
My lord, the sheep farmers are requesting an increase for goods due to inflation. My lord, the Smith Guild master is here requesting to renegotiate his contract. My lord, the tax collector is here with this month's collections. My lord, the cabbage man wants you to count his cabbage in his cart.
That's not my job, William. I think you should tell him to just count his own cabbage.
Actually, my lord, or Provision 9, subsection 22, Amendment 92. The treasure is available for counting and transcribing for citizens who cannot read or write, which is 99% of our population, my lord.
Then, set his appointment for after he's dead of natural causes, an act of God, or murdered.
Damn, my lord, that's cold, but I'll see it done.
This is much better than long marches as a nobody with a spear. No bracing the line with his shield up and arrows rain down onto him. No fear of gangrene, hypothermia, infection, or plain old. Just getting your head partially decapitated is the best. A monthly stipend worth more than a year's worth of soldering. He rather appreciates being called my lord, and commoners even take their hats off and bow their heads before speaking. Yet, Viola is all he can think of today. No invasive thoughts even. Just a face, voice, and damn it, Tristan. Get your noggin out the gutter. He thinks of those fun mounds hanging from her chest.
William, hold all the other meetings today for the morning.
I'll have to report this absence to our Lord Jonald, my lord.
You do that, and while you're at it, ask him when I can expect construction to begin on my home on the bank of the bay.
Yes, me lord. Have a good night, your objectionableness.
Thanks. You have a night yourself, William.
Tristan is running a little behind, but he can make it up with a short little trot through the town. Worth it, but he has to slow to a walk so the sweat dries up off his brow before he arrives. He's early by at least 10 minutes, so he waits around the corner of a quiet little shed down the road. He sees her exit and wave her peers a good night. He waits still, crouched in place, peeking in on her every few minutes. Pathetic? Maybe, but he deems more pathetic as waltzing up and waiting outside for her like a simpy McSimpleton would factually be even worse. She's pacing the ground, looking at her slippers as she paces to and fro. After minutes, she begins to bob her head and looking to the stars. every fiber, and Tristan screams for him to just go to her. The girl is waiting. Don't complicate this most basic of human transactions. Just go to her. She presses her back to the stone portion of the wall of the tavern and looks back down at her slippers. Tristan starts to entertain the thought of just leaving, just going home. Perhaps he's not ready to pursue this kind of thing.
Viola, sorry if I kept you waiting.
Didn't think you were going to show. Been out here nearly half an hour already.
I know. I'm sorry. If you're still willing, I'd still like to walk you home.
Well, I guess so.
And so they walk. They walk to impressive estate of her father's house, and then they walk some more. They walk and talk, and they talk until the night is long. What do they talk about? Anything, everything. Baking recipes. How to skin a steer, ways to fire a crossbow, whether whiskey is better than mead. It's a verbal dance beneath the moonlight. Two souls swinging and spiraling around each other looking for ways they can connect. To much the dismay of these two young souls, they find that they touch and interlock during every instance of this waltz. Tristan even stops noticing her fun mounds and begins paying attention to the personality enveloping her corporeal form. After several hours of back and forth conversation, giggling, even involuntary toothy smiles they have put under a downpour, Tristan grabs her by the hand and jogs them beneath a merchant sales booth that's shrouded in fine animal hide to repel rainwater as this. They are soaking wet once they look one another in the eye again.
What do you want out of life, Tristan?
She's smiling ear to ear. These words are sweet as honey and more exciting than any poetry ever written.
Would you think less of me if I asked you to kiss me?
In this instance, Drake sits up from his bed shirtless, sweat glistening on his well-sculpted abs and pecs. Not what you expected to see next, is it? Well, don't get your trousers in a bunch. Something is afoot, and Drake senses this disturbance in what he calls
There's a disturbance in the bro force.